Hey guys, so it's been about a week now since Oliver's little buddy Colt passed away. If you haven't seen the last video on him, he passed away from colic. He was fine one day and the next day he was down, and we did all we could do, but he ended up not making it. We actually had never experienced colic like that before, so that was a first for us, and that was really hard to watch. But we're down here in the pasture field, and I thought I'd show you where we buried him really quick. Okay, here's his little grave. This is where we buried him, right next to Image. And then there's a creek that runs right back there alongside, so it's real pretty. And then we got one of our main pasture fields out here, and the horses are usually out there grazing, and they'll come over here and visit, I'm sure. So I know we haven't really shown Oliver much this week, and there's been a lot of concern for him, how he's doing. There's been a lot of comments asking if he got to say goodbye to Colt, and he did get to say goodbye. Not after Colt passed. We didn't show him his body, but we had to walk Colt all day. We were trying to get his guts going, and so we were going up and down the road and going right by Oliver, and so he did get to see him during that time. We didn't videotape it. It was just too much. We were focusing on saving Colt. But I do think that he said goodbye and he kind of knew what was going on. But Oliver has had a lot going on this week. He's actually been pretty busy. So we've made a video for you guys, and we're gonna let you see that here in just a minute. At the end of this video, we actually have one of the last videos of Oliver and Colt, but it's kind of sweet. Their last moments together. So make sure you stay around and watch that. Losing little Colt has been quite a shocker and surprise to us. We never anticipated him being gone from our life so soon. He was only with us for a few short months. We got him right after we had gotten Oliver, and we had no intent of putting them together. Colt just kept getting out of his fence, and so it was just a desperate move when we put him in with Oliver, and we were really surprised how they bonded and how close they became. He was like Oliver's little angel, and he was put into his life for a reason, and he helped pull him through that time when Oliver was so sad and depressed. Colt was very determined to get Oliver playing again, and he would pester and pester and pick at him until Oliver would play. Colt was definitely a handful and so ornery, but it was exactly what Oliver needed. And even though it was for a short time, we are so thankful to Colt for all that he did for Oliver, for bringing that joy back into his life and that playfulness. And Colt will always be remembered by us and always be missed. He was such an ornery but very sweet boy.
Hi everybody, we're out here in Oliver's dry lot, and he's got his girlfriend Soix with him and Lakota. So a lot has changed obviously since last weekend when we lost little brother Colt, and we've had a lot, hi sweetheart, he'd rather come get lovin's and eat. We've had a lot of questions and comments and concerns, and we just want to address them all, and at the same time kind of give you a little bit of an update on what's happening with Oliver's life. So the main concern is that Oliver's going to be depressed and miss Colt and long for him, but God works in mysterious ways, and he always has a plan to cover us even in our loss. So while we were going through the loss of Colt that day, trying to save him, Sue here, Soix as we call her, came into season. So I had been trying to find a good time for her and Oliver to get together and breed, and it wasn't working in hand. So there's a lot of benefits to turning a mare in with a young stallion like this. She can teach him manners, she can teach him consent, she can teach him the ins and outs and where to be and where's safe and what's dangerous, and she was a good mare to do that with. So she has been in season since the day that Colt died, and they've been breeding. And you can see she's teaching him a little bit of manners right there.
I think she's hogging the food.
Yeah. So that's the first thing. Now there's three things I want to talk about breeding with these two. First off, when you see them close to each other, stay right there, Em.
Okay. He says you're not scratching me.
You can't push a rope. When you see them next to each other, ooh, they're not really that much difference in size. So a lot of people were concerned about breeding a Foxtrotter mare that already had a big colt to a draft stallion. I tried teaching them in that video about a thing called maternal constraint. If you have a concern about that, before you look at, before you comment, do a Google search on that, maternal constraint in horses, and you'll find out that I could breed him to a Shetland pony and she'd be able to have the baby fine as long as the physical breeding didn't hurt the pony. But this mare is big and large and a long barrel and already had a large foal. So my prediction to all of my viewers that were concerned about that is the foal out of Oliver is going to weigh less than her first foal that she carried long. So we're going to watch that over the next year. She's the only Foxtrotter mare that I thought would be a good cross with him, so she's the only one I'm going to try it on. And I'm trying it because I want to mess with this foal. I want a crossbreed because a draft horse like this isn't good for a 20-mile carriage ride. They're good for pulling and working. A fine-boned Foxtrotter can pull a carriage well, but they can't pull my whole family in a carriage up and down these southern Missouri hills. The crossbreed would be both good for large people to trail ride in rough terrain and still active and athletic enough to take large groups on long carriage rides. So they're pretty sought after for that. Also, the babies, I'll know both parents, both bloodlines. I'll know the quality of the baby, and it'll have quality training for 3 to 4 years, and it will find a really good home at a very high price. It will be a valuable animal. A lot of people are saying, why not keep the breed pure so that you can, for economic reasons? Well, it is an intentional cross, and it's out of two good, well-behaved, well-structured animals. It's going to be a high-quality baby just because it's a crossbreed. It has its place. Oh, this is
sweet.
Yeah, this is Lakota, and all of my stallion Bob's babies.
They're so sweet.
Even though I don't spend 1,000,000 hours with them a day, all of them are gentle enough to where we can scratch and pet and love on them, and they seek our attention. So they're doing really good, really well.
Yeah.
But that's part of the reason for that. Then there's just a blanket question that we're getting a lot of why breed at all? Why not just adopt rescue horses all the time? Well, the Missouri Foxtrotter breed that I specialize in and that I've dedicated my life to is a rare breed that is becoming more and more rare. I heard some numbers and I meant to look them up for this video, but they're hard to come by. But at the heyday, there was like 5,000 Missouri Foxtrotters registered every year. Now that number has dropped to like 700 per year. And the breed is just not as common as it used to be. Where other breeds are flourishing, like the Rocky Mountains or Kentucky Mountain saddle horse, the Rocky Mountain
spotted saddle horse.
Yeah, their numbers are just skyrocketing.
And we love this breed.
Yeah, and they're
amazing.
This is the best. This is the best gaited horse breed there is by far. Like, there's not even any arguing with it.
And they're just awesome family horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I want to preserve and make the breed better and propagate it, and that's part of the reason why I went pro. That is the reason why I breed them all the time. And even a crossbred like this will show the attributes of the Missouri Foxtrotter, because it will put a good trail horse out there that's big bone, and people, you know, that need that will start saying, well, if I get a draft cross, I want it to be out of a Foxtrotter, you know. Plus, Oliver has so many fans right here on this YouTube channel. You can comment if you would be interested in a son out of Oliver and a Foxtrotter mare. I bet there'll be a lot of comments that would be interested in that. So that's part of the reason I breed. The other reason I breed is because when you get to my level of horse training, not that I'm the highest level, there's higher levels than me, but a real horse trainer will tell you it ain't us. It ain't us that does it. Really, we're just teaching a horse what not to do. kid horses are born, they're not made. It's so much of any animal is genetic and doesn't have to do with the training. Now, a wonderful upbringing, a wonderful home, and love and care help, like we're giving him, but it's in the bloodlines. Yeah. The easiest way to explain it to the public or to everybody out there in YouTube land would be like when I let my border collie puppy out and she sees these horses or the sheep, she gets down and she looks and she uses that stare and she watches the stock. Now this Pyrenees puppy right here,
he's so cute.
Look how he's doing. He wanders around this pen. He don't pay no attention to this stock, but he checks out the pen and he looks for danger because that's bred into him, just like that border collie's bred into him. Now you take a quail wing and you throw it out in front of an 8-week-old pointer puppy, English pointer, it's going to snap to attention and point that scent on that quail wing. That's not taught. That's bred into him for thousands of years. Anybody that's had a lab out there, how hard was it to teach your lab to retrieve? It's so much of it is genetic. And that's why I always argue with people with the pit bulls, and this will make a lot of people mad. They'll say, oh, it's not how they're raised, or it's not how they're bred, it's how they're raised. Well, that is partially true. But I'll take the nicest pit bull and try to make it mean for a year, and you take the nicest beagle and try to make it mean for a year, and then we'll lock each other in a room with it and see who comes out dog bit. It is genetic. Same with horses, okay? You can't go and buy with a very high likelihood of success and buy a rescue horse and end up with the same quality that I'm producing here on the farm. Now that's not to say they don't have their place and that they don't deserve love. They do, but I'm trying to produce the top quality, best horse that I can produce for a family in the world, and that's what I think this little guy's going to turn into. Look at his calm demeanor and his love and affection he's showing already, and he's just calm. And I've never thrown a rope on his back, but I can throw that rope on his back right there and he doesn't do nothing. And he's physically sound and he's not going to have any health problems. And you know, Image was 27 years old and I had his joints x-rayed last year to see if he had any arthritis. Perfectly healthy at 27 years old. He just faded away and died of old age. So all of that being said, that's why I like to breed horses more than rescue. The rescues, like we did with Oliver and then helping out the auction mare, was just because of the blessings we've had from YouTube viewers and the experience that I've gained over my lifetime of owning horses. I don't think I've been without a horse since I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
So
and without that experience, there's no way we could take care of a rescue horse.
Yeah, and that's out of our blessing and our bounty that we did that, or are doing that, and with the continued support on Oliver from all of you viewers. Now, the reality of life is to count on making this farm payment. This is a working horse farm. It's not a charity. So the end goal is I do have to sell some of these horses to make my farm payment every June. So that's what we do. And
and our goal is to find good homes for them
too.
too.
Yeah, and like I could go to an auction this month, buy a horse, ride it for a month, sell it next month at an auction and make $1,000 profit. I could do that, but I don't do that. And I could do it 10 times and make 10,000 profit. What I do is I start with this horse and my end goal is to get $10,000 to $20,000 for him and make all that profit on one final project that will make somebody a perfect forever horse. That's what I was going to do with Oliver originally when I bid on him with my own money, and now Oliver's got a home for life. I just can't imagine selling him. Yeah, I just can't imagine selling Oliver. So that's another question I had a lot. Will I ever sell Oliver? Right now, I can't imagine it. Watch it, bud.
And just before that, he's just really special at everything. Ooh. Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah, he's a special horse, so he's got a home for life. Now that I've seen him breed and we're going to have her confirmed in full, I'll be standing him at studs so people can come in and breed their mares to him if they want. That's how he'll help earn his keep. But other than that, he's going to be my riding horse and a family carriage horse. So stay tuned for all that training.
Yeah. And then a lot of people are worried about him being sad. I mean, we touched on that a little bit, but so he's okay. I mean, I think he'll miss Colt a little bit because they were close little buddies, but he has, I mean, life moves on.
Right.
So.
And horses' memory and their emotions are not exactly the same as humans. That's not to say they don't have them, but them being twittipated all week has really kept his mind off of Colt, as you can imagine. And now we have a new, the rest of this video, what that's about is our new plan on what we're going to do starting tonight. So I'm going to try, I'm going to take her and Lakota away, and we're going to introduce my stud colt, Champ. Champ is starting to hit puberty age, and we need him away from the other mares. So we're going to hopefully substitute Champ in as his little brother like Colt was, and see if they make the same bond. Colt is only a year old, so he doesn't have Champ is only a year old, sorry. So he won't have the testosterone and drive to fight. So as long as Oliver accepts him like he has Lakota and Colt, then they should be good. And as they mature together, I think that that combination will work. So that way I can keep Champ a stallion, because I want to keep him a stallion through the time that I show him. And I'll have Oliver as a stallion, and I can keep them in pens together. So we're going to see if that works tonight.
Classy's going to be excited to see Lakota. Here comes Champ.
Champ.
Here, Champ. He likes squirrels.
You guys can kind of see his interest in putting a new mare back in the pasture. He's starting to become a boy. Oh, we get him out.
There's too many of you. There's Happy.
For those of you that don't know, Champ is the horse that I have my hopes and dreams on of calling him my horse. So all of the horses are technically owned by me and Emery, but we all kind of claim one. So Becca's show horse is Ozark. Lucky is technically Mary's horse.
And mine.
Yeah. No, Emery's horse we call is Jesse. Isaac's horse is Lady. I don't even have my own real horse, okay? They're all just my...
Oliver's is yours.
Yeah, Oliver is kind of going to be my main riding horse, but this is going to be my show horse. He's out of Jesse, who's out of Grand Central, full sister to Lucky, and out of Image. So that's a really good cross because, you know, we're currently winning a lot on Lucky. She's out of Grand Central, and Image, you know, like I say, he's passed away. So this is a full 100% brother to Jesse's boy, the foal that we have this year. And I'm putting a little fly spray on him. You're okay. Before I put him out with Oliver. And we're going to introduce him for the first time and see if they don't take up like I'm hoping they do. For as little as I've messed with him, he's super gentle. I've never put fly spray on him before. He took that pretty well. And he's pretty friendly, so I don't think they'll fight. So let's go do the introduction before it gets any darker.
Here comes Oliver.
So you can see Colt's a little nervous right now.
No.
Not Colt. You can see
that's gonna take us some mischief.
You can see Colt and Champ's names are real close to each other. See, he's a little nervous right now. Grab some alfalfa for me, Em. But his ears are forward and inquisitive, not back and territorial. So a lot of people will say this is not a good idea having two stallions together, but they're both immature.
Where do you want it?
Champ doesn't even have testosterone yet, and Oliver is just a 2-year-old. So now with bulls or rams or horses or anything, if there's a large disproportionate size, they won't fight too bad. they'll get to be friends because the dominant structure will be easy to resolve. When you come into trouble is when they're both the same size. Like say you put two 1,200-pound bulls in there together, they'll push and fight each other till they're both crippled because they can't, you know, one day one will be stronger and then one will eat more and it'll be stronger and they'll just keep fighting. These two shouldn't ever fight because, as you're seeing, Champ is backing down and moving off, and Oliver can see that he's the boss.
Hey, buddy. And
the benefits of the emotional support and, you know, mental health benefits of having two horses together to where they can buddy up and play together and wrestle together and push on each other far outweigh the risk. And this will help me ensure that I can keep Champ a stallion and keep Oliver happy and keep him from missing Colt too much. So, you know, we're just trying to make it work, and it looks right now like they're not going to fight and they're going to get along. So we'll monitor the situation and keep you guys posted. It's been a couple of days now, and Oliver and Champ are getting along great. They even share in this stall, and they haven't been fighting or kicking. They eat together well. So this is a viable long-term solution for Buddy for Oliver. So as long as they don't start fighting, we're going to keep monitoring it. They look like they're going to be good friends, and it with going from having Sue in with Lakota while they were breeding to straight to Champ, Oliver has not had any bad side effects of missing Colt. We haven't noticed anything in his attitude or sadness at all. He's probably glad to be rid of a little aggravation.
He loved him.
Yeah, that was his little brother. But this can be his friend.
Yep, they're getting along really good.
Yeah. So, and they got this nice stall to try to get out of the blaring heat. But I would like to put power in here at some point so I could hang them a fan, but I don't have electricity to this barn yet. So, oh well, all is well with Colt and Oliver, or Champ and Oliver, as of right now. Can I get through there, boys?
We gotta get used to saying Champ instead of Colt.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay guys, this is the last video of Oliver and Colt that we have. It was just a few days before Colt passed. So it's a little hard to watch, but I'm also very thankful that we have it because it's very sweet. Buddy, is everybody hi? And we just want to say thank you to everybody for all of the concern for Oliver and the comments and support and love that you have given us. It's really helped and we appreciate it. So we'll talk to you guys next time.